Sonic the Hedgehog Battle Racers from SHINOBI. With the new movie come out, this is the perfect time to talk about this game. Go check a review of Sonic 2 as well. And hope you enjoy this. Let's look into it. It's a pretty fun game with expansions, and this is the basic stuff. So let's get to it. Gotta go fast. So the object of the game is obviously play as Sonic, one of his friends, a rival, or a foe, and race in a track full of obstacles, elevations, and badniks. In order to win, you'll have to collect as many rings as possible and destroy badniks at every opportunity. Keep an eye out for the racers, because this can be pretty, there could be some kind of cutthroaty kind of stuff to it in this game. Cross the finish line, be the player with the most ring and tokens to win. Winning the game is when a racer crosses the finish line. The other players may resolve their agility cards, and then the game ends. The player with the most ring and badnik tokens is the winner. You can pick out your racers, little figures, and there's apparently other expansions. You can collect all sorts of them. There's agility cards, and these will basically give you what you can do on your turn when you play them. And then there's your character's little card that gives you their ability and power. We'll go over those in a sec after all this. And after you shuffled this, place the badnik tokens into a bag. Place the ring tokens in a pile accessible to all players. Place the track section with the start line close to one edge of the table. After shuffling the agility cards and putting them there, you have your finish and start tracks. Separate the track sections. These are the two turn track sections, and these are the remaining ones. Shuffle these, and then this is how you're going to be building your course. And then we'll go to the course setup. Anytime tracks are connected, they should be placed one after another. At the beginning of the game, 2 random track sections are connected at the start line, and then 1 turn is connected. If your racer is first to enter the turn, you must draw and place 2 straight track sections and connect them to the turn. Then draw and place the last turn, connecting it to the last straight track section. If your racer is the first to enter the final turn, you must draw and place 2 straight track tokens and connect them to the final turn, then draw and place the finish line, connecting it to the last straight section. After connecting the track section, follow the steps below. Place a ring token in all the spaces marked with a ring. Draw a random badnik token and place it face up on each space marked with the little red symbol, the symbol with Robotnik on it. The red one. If this is only a 1, 2, or 3 player game, draw a random badnik token and place it face up on each space marked with the yellow version. Your setup should look something like this. One issue I had with this, when it came to the spaces marked with the rings, I don't know if it's the game we got or what, but we didn't get to fill up all the ring spaces, so we had to put them down accordingly as such. Also, the boulder tokens, there are little boulder tokens in the rules. No matter how many times I look through it, it says something about place a boulder token, but it never says during setup and how and where. So it's like nowhere in the rules. So unless, comment below someone that knows how you put these on there, because it shows the rocks, and the front and the back is, again, Robotnik's face. They tell you what they do, but I'm looking through setup, and I'm like, are these even part of this, or are they part of the other modes? But so far for, like, the regular thing, without the special boss or expansions, I haven't seen where those come in. But before that, starting with the player who played a Sonic video game the most recently, and going clockwise, each player selects a racer and takes the miniature, profile, and speed token for that and a speed token for that racer. And then, starting with the player who selected a racer last and going counterclockwise, each player places their racer behind the starting line. Each player takes their corresponding racer's speed token and places it on speed 3 on the racer profile. Deal 4 agility cards to each player. Deal 4 agility cards face up within reach of all players. There's a track reference card to kind of help you out. And then you have your reference card for your items and badnik reference card, which tells you all you need to know about what happens with these. So basically, the game is played in a series of rounds. Each player selects one of their agility cards, puts it face down in front of themselves. Then simultaneously you reveal them, And players compare the score of each card, then resolve the agility card, starting with the highest priority score and moving to the lowest. The player may choose to resolve the action on the card they played, or they may choose to pass on the action. There are 8 different actions. Movement. Once you resolve the action or pass, you must resolve the movement on the agility. There are 3 kinds. Once the move is complete, discard the agility card used and take another from the 4 face up. Then, immediately draw another agility from the deck to replace the face up agility one that you have taken. And then after all players resolve their agility cards and selected a new one, begin a new round by playing new agility cards. Continue playing rounds until a racer has crossed the finish line. And then when it comes to movement, the golden rule, unless stated otherwise, on a card or rule, racers may only move either running or jumping, forward, up, or down. A racer may never move diagonally or backwards, because, you know, that's no good. The different speeds, as you can see on the cards themselves, you know, there's brake, which is the speed -4, shift, run 1 space or speed +1, spring, run or jump up to 2 spaces, spin dash, spin, and if current speed is 1 or 2, then speed is a +3. Spin or speed +1, boost, jump 1 space or speed +1. Sprint, speed +2. Power, activate your racer's power. Movement, once you have resolved, the movement is, there are 3. Run, which is this one. Forward a number of spaces equal to the marked speed on the racer's profile. Jump, forward a number of spaces equal to the marked speed on the profile. Run or jump, moving forward a number of spaces equal to the marked speed on the racer's profile. A racer's speed is how many spaces they must move. Use a speed token to mark the current speed of each racer on their profile. Speed cannot be reduced below 1 and cannot exceed 6 by using agility card actions. Terrain features and the racer's abilities and powers can allow racer speed to exceed 6 with an absolute maximum of 9. If a racer's speed changes during their movement, change the speed on the racer profile. However, the racer must still move a number of spaces equal to the original marked speed. Run. When running, move a number of spaces equal to the speed marked on the racer's profile. When running, move a number of spaces equal to the speed marked on the racer's profile. Take into account the effect of each terrain feature for spaces moved into. We'll get into those in a second. Spinning works the same way as running, but with one major difference. When a spinning racer enters a space with another racer or a crawling badnik, the spinning racer will damage them. Racers spin by playing the agility card spin or spin dash. Jump. When jumping, move a number of spaces equal to the speed marked on the profile. But ignore the effects of all terrain features except the last space, which is the one you were landing on. Which is pretty cool. Buzzing badniks are damaged when a jumping racer moves into their space. In addition, when a racer jumps forward, they damage any other racer or badnik they land on. When a racer is damaged either by a badnik or by another racer, follow these steps. If the racer does not have rain tokens, place the racer on the first column of the track section and set their speed to 3. If a racer does have rain tokens, think of it as a game. They'll go scatter in. Reduce your speed to 1 and move the racer forward, up, or down to the closest space without a badnik or terrain feature that would damage them. Starting from leftmost stack on their racer profile, place 1 stack of rain tokens on the space where the racer was damaged, and on each consecutive space in the same column, starting from the closest one. Badnik damage. When a racer damages a badnik, take the badnik token and place it next to the racer's profile. Badniks damage racers when they move into a specific space. There are 2 types, crawling and buzzing. Crawling badniks, they damage any racers running into their space, but can be destroyed by a spinning racer that moves into the space they're on. Buzzing do not damage running racers that move into their space, but they can be destroyed by a jumping racer that moves into the space they're on. And then you can see what they all do. The moto bug damages any racers running into their space. Crab meat damages jumping racers moving into the 2 spaces above or below them. The Buzz Bomber damages running or spinning racers that enter the 3 spaces in front of them. Spinner damages jumping racers entering the space they are on. Spinners are only destroyed by a jumping racer that lands on their space. As you know, there are turns, They have lanes, they'll be marked with that, and they'll tell you what to do. When you see it, you can see by the numbers. Obstacles, some of them have obstacles on terrain. When a racer moves into a space with an obstacle, they reduce their speed to 1, and their movement ends immediately. Elevation and movement. Tracks have elevation by default of 0, but there are spaces that can go from -1 or +2. The effect depends on your movement. Running any elevation higher than the elevation the racer is currently on is an obstacle. Compare it with grass, plain. An elevation of 1 will be +1. Elevation of 2 is +2. Water is a -1. And you'll see little symbols. They'll show you on your reference card and on the field. You'll see +1, +2, -1. So you'll get the gist of how your racing's going to go. And then, obviously, the importance of rings. When a racer is on a space with 1 or more ring tokens, immediately take the rings and place them on the racer's profile. This can be the result of a racer moving into a space with the rings, or if a ring is placed on the same space as a racer. When collecting ring tokens, always place them on the leftmost stack with the least number of ring tokens on it. And that means, because I'll tell you, as they said earlier, you go from the one with the least amount to you spread. That way you're not, losing like everything. You're losing some, then you get hit again, and they'll move, and they'll spread, so you're constantly stacking them through. You'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you get like 5 more, you'll stack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, and you'll be stacking them a certain way as you go through. The Green Hill terrain features: water reduces their speed to 2. Spike, the racer's damage. Accelerator or decelerator increases or reduces the racer's speed by 1. There's also solo mode, and then there's expansion, boss mode, and stuff like that. But we're just going with the base stuff here. You can look that up, do it yourself, yada yada, garasu. And that's basically it. You're just having racing. You play your agility cards, your power cards, and so on. And then we'll go through, I guess. We told you about the rings, why they're important. And then when you get the bug guys, you also place them. They'll count towards the end for your scoring and everything. And now we'll go through the in depth on the agility cards and then on the player's profile cards. As you can see on the agility cards, again, the priority score, that's the big number on top. That'll tell you which one goes first. So obviously, highest to lowest. That's how they're resolved. The name of the agility, so you know what it's going to do. I mean, the card itself even tells you what to do. You'll remember the symbols. You remember the numbers. It's pretty easy. You also get the action symbol and the movement symbol are all on there. In this game, the characters are Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. What do their profiles do? What are their awesomeness involved? Let's find out. Your profile of your characters will start off with Sonic. Again, you'll see the numbers. Remember, you can't go under 1, can't go over 6 unless otherwise stated. And that'll be where you'll place your little character token to show where your current speed is during the time, how it's going to be if it's shifted when it moves up or down. So Sonic's ability is light speed. When Sonic gains speed from an agility card, Sonic may increase his speed by an additional 1. His power, that'll be by playing a power card. When using this power, his is Sonic Boost. Sonic cannot be damaged, ignores elevation, and can destroy rocks. Pretty cool. Tails. This is the one when I first played, I had Tails, and I actually kind of really liked Tails. So Tails was actually what helped me lead to victory in my first game of this. His ability is Rotary Tails. When jumping, Tails may move diagonally. Now remember, you couldn't do that. Tails may do that when jumping. So it kind of helped bypass stuff and get through stuff a lot faster. Power. Propulsion Tails. When using this power, increase Tails' speed by 3. So his speed he was very helpful. I really loved the diagonally part. So there's a lot of stuff where you wanted to play those jumping cards so you can constantly go diagonal and get through the game faster. Ability for Amy. Her ability is called Chasing Amy. Not a bad movie, though. Once per turn, when Amy is running in the same lane behind another racer, she may increase her speed by 1. Her power, the Pico Pico Hammer. When using this power, Amy damages all adjacent badniks and racers. She was also a fun idea. And then we have Knuckles. Ability, Spiked Fist. When running, Knuckles does not collide with any terrain that is only one higher than the level he is currently on. Power. Power Glide. When using this power, if Knuckles jumps this turn, he may move 3 spaces more or less than his current speed. So again, whatever the speed is, you have to go that full amount, which in game you can be like, oh, crud. If I go here, I'm going to hit someone or I'm going to knock into something, hurt myself. So you want to try to find your best path to not do that, but there might be times where you can't help it. Which for me, that was also awesome with Tails being bypass stuff was diagonally. But again, there's stuff that lets you do this. You can go -3 of this or plus this. Which also, in the cards, also have stuff like -4 and all that stuff there to help with your speed. It tells you how far you go for each square to move on the path. So it's actually quite a fun game. I like how the paths, you shuffle and you change the terrain. Some stuff was kind of confusing. This was our beginning at one point where it was nothing but the spikes. So then it's like, when you land on the spike, you're supposed to lose your range and stop. So then it's like, but then there's spikes here again. So if you can move and you hit that, so then it's like if you hit here and you go here, you automatically stop. So I'm like, you lose again and again. So it was kind of weird. So we had the figure because the rings were there, and I had to look into, we just had to do some kind of like ruling to say how that works. So some of the stuff is a bit confusing. I'm still confused if anyone knows for sure if you played this longer. And the setup of the reins, were there enough reins for you? But I like the idea of all the different paths this makes you move. And in addition, you can see what the elevations are. So it kind of made fun. So you can see ahead as you're playing. Like, you know, you're going here, and then your opponent's like, oh, but they have to go here. Because you can, again, block a certain spot. If you're standing here, unless they want to go over you and injure you or something, or they can't, then they got to go this path towards the end. And then that came down to the turns. You see the numbers 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And those turns were very specific and how you ended up running. So the turns were a special track that are placed after every 2 straight tracks. They have a few special rules. Turns have 5 lanes with a number, as I said. When a racer moves into a lane, their speed is reduced to this number and cannot be increased above it, even with agility cards, abilities, and powers until they left that turn. So it's kind of like if you want to go here, your speed will be 6, but then, of course, you know, then 5, 4, 3, 2. So when you think about it, your speed is 6. If you go in here, it'll be, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I mean, it's like 2 turns, but at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Either way, it's like 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's kind of, no matter what, it's still going to take you 2 things to go through. So it kind of, you kind of wonder what was the point of it, you know, by reducing your speed to 6. Because either way, when you're on these corners, it's always going to take you like 2 turns to get out of it, in a way, in a sense. So I never got it, but I guess it all depends on how I don't know how quick it is. Like these have more range, but I don't know. But it's a neat idea. So you kind of want like, I'm going to go for the 2 spot because I'm only going to be able to go 2. You know, 1, 2, 1, 2. So, I don't know. But there is strategy. It's fun when you can hurt each other. And I kind of like the idea of seeing all the other characters. And I feel like this game could go on longer with all the other characters, expansions. The boss games, solo mode seems like it could be cool. Some of the rulings were just a little iffy. But, and again, I like the design. The figures were nice. I really like the figures, but Sonic and Knuckles are way too heavy, so they fell over. Tails was able to stand up pretty okay, and Amy. The lighter ones, they were able to stand up okay. The best one was Tails. I had like no problem. Amy a little bit, but yeah. I like the tokens. I like the use. It basically feels like, you know, this Battle Racers game for Sonic. It's like the games, and they turned it effectively, I think, into the board game, which I liked. So, hope you enjoy it. Give it a try if you have. Let me know if you have the expansions, the other figures, the other characters. And what you think about Sonic 2. And check our review for that as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Gotta go faster. Gotta go faster, faster. Mother effing faster.
Chili dog.
what an adventure! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Whoa! Flying overhead. Hey guys, how y'all doing down there? Dun, 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 dun. Oh well, if we go. Thanks for watching.